Hey guys, it is Bucky and welcome to another awesome, amazing Objective-C tutorial. Now, in this tutorial you see first off the bat what I did is I cleared out all my old classes and I started with something new. So here's my main right here, and see what I did is I created a new class rectangle and I separated the files for my interface and implementation. If you forgot how to separate files, then go ahead and watch tutorial number 23 and I teach you how to separate files. But we're going to be building a rectangle class aside from our main method because like I said, I want to teach you more about inheritance, and this is going to be a little bigger program. So get everything set up, or if you don't want to type it, then you can just watch what I do. But anyways, what we're going to be doing basically is taking this rectangle class and inheriting from it and building on it. So something new, but like I said, didn't want to have it all jumbled up in one class. So the first thing that we need to do is go to our interface right here, which is .h, and we need to add some properties or variables, same thing. So what variables or properties does a rectangle has? Well, it has an int width and int height. So those are pretty much the only properties that a rectangle has, every consistent rectangle. So in order to define our properties, remember property, remember it's always useful to define your properties, because then we don't have to build setter and getter methods when we synthesize the methods. And this is from a tutorial a long time ago. If you remember, when you synthesize a method, what you're pretty much doing is saying, I don't want to build the setters and getters, I want you to do it for me, synthesize it for me. So the first thing you need to do is put your property in width. And if you don't understand what I just said, I'll just put this. If you don't understand what I just said, then you'll see in a little bit when we actually need to call the methods, you'll see what's going on. But anyways, we're going to eventually build two synthesized methods, setters and getters for each width and height. But we need to build a couple more methods. So what are some common things that you want to take and figure out with a rectangle? Well, I know one thing. It's the area of it. So let's go ahead and build a declaration for int area. And what else? We can figure out the parameter or perimeter. What's a parameter? Oh yeah, that probably just confused you. Int perimeter. Bam. Game time. And let's go ahead and, even though we have a setters and setters and getters, let's go ahead and build a method to set the width and height all in one method. So let's go. It's not going to do anything, just going to be void. Let's name it set wh, and let's just go ahead. It's going to take an int width, and it's also going to take int height, just like that. So this is how you build a method header to pass two variables in, separated by colons and ending with a semicolon. So let me see. This is pretty much all we need for the interface class. It's going to have two variables, width and height. We're going to define them, and then we're going to build a method to get the area, the perimeter, and set the width and height all in one shebang. So now if we go over to our implementation, again, our implementation says pretty much how do we want to use this stuff. So again, don't forget to import rectangle.h. That's a necessity. And now, instead of writing our setters and getters, all four of them, manually, all we have to do is put at. It should pop up synthesize, just like that, width, height. And check that out. With one shebang, it automatically builds four methods for us. So that's why we had to define the properties right here. Pretty much just say, this is what we're going to be building synthesized methods are. And if you still don't understand what I'm talking about, we're going to use it one last time, and I'll clear things up for you. So let's go ahead and build the rest of these. See what else did we have. Set width and height. Copy that baby. And now we got to build the method, but method bodies for these. So how do we want to do this? Probably the easiest way, width equals W, because remember we pass it in a number that's going to treat it as W, and height, we're going to set this equal to H. So whatever we pass it in is W is going to be set to width, and whatever we pass it in for H is going to be set to height. So now we can use height and width in the rest of our methods. So now let me just go grab both those methods. Grab the headers and V. So how do we figure out the area of a rectangle? Easy wheezy. Return width times height. And since we already have width and height set, we don't have to worry about passing in any values. And how do we find the perimeter of a rectangle? Easy enough. All we have to do is return, take the sum of width plus height, that's two sides, and times it by 2 to find the perimeter around your whole rectangle. So let me see, I think that is everything we needed right there. Looks pretty good. So in this tutorial what we did is we pretty much separate the two classes. I didn't show you guys how to do that because it would just be a waste of time. What we did is we built the interface for rectangle, which our class of rectangle, our objects, is pretty much contain a width and height, and that's all we need to figure out everything else. We can figure out the area and perimeter and set them both with just those two variables. So what we did is we defined the variables. We said, alright, we're going to be building these three methods, and then in our implementation we actually went ahead and built those three methods, and we actually had Objective-C build four methods for us, setters and getters for width and height. So in our next tutorial, we're going to be working in our main method right here. Again, you see, make sure not to delete any of this common housekeeping stuff, or else you're going to have to type it all in again. But that's what we're going to be doing in the next tutorial. So thank you guys for watching. I'll post all the source code on my forum, so if you want it, there's a link below. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.